So coming back to this, I hope everyone can see this. Alright, so my question was, if you want to configure thousands of devices here, you need to log into everyone, and there are maximum possibilities for human error. Okay, so by mistakenly you type something wrong configuration, or you log in into the unplanned device and you do configuration. So there are a lot of problems, and it is tedious job, it is too much time consuming job. All right, now when we move forward, when we realistically works into the network, how do we configure? As a network engineer, how do we configure our network? So, you know, the biggest automation tool which we use is a notepad. So notepad is the most common automated tool. It's just very bad automation tools. Now everybody's using a notepad. Whatever configurations they want, they just put into the notepad, just modify into this and putting into the router, putting into the different routers. So what's the problem doing this? So it's do repetitive. Now you have to do a lot of repetitive jobs, lot of tedious job, and when you do copy and paste, there are maximum possibilities to have a duplicate or wrong configuration getting pasted to the number of devices. So that's the problem. That is why we need an automation. That is why we need an engine which can do automatic automation without any error. That's the first biggest reason to go with the automation. Now second reason is what generally we do in our network when we want to configure a router. What generally we do? This programmability controls network devices, and it push up hundreds of unwanted lines into your configuration. Let me tell you the example. For example, let me start a router. Alright, so let's start some router and show you the demonstration how it happens. So what generally methods everyone prefer to copy or to back up your router? Most common people, if we take this survey of network engineers, so very countable organization has got the softwares to take the backup, to maintain or to manage the devices. So most of the people takes show running configurations copy. They just copy show running configuration and preserve this configurations as their backup. And when any router fails, what usually they do? I will show you. Alright, so let me take few routers. For example, this is my router. Okay, so simple example, what people does, if 90% people how they take the backup of their routers. That's router opening up. Okay, so what I do is every individual, most of the people, how they take backup, they just take running configuration backup, or they just take startup configuration backup. And the simplest way I would show you, just give me a minute to put this router. Alright, so I have this router, show running configurations. I just put show running configuration and I have certain configurations here available here. Okay, so what people does is they just copy this. Okay, they just copy and put into the notepad. Okay, they just copy and paste it here. So now what? This is your configuration backup. This is your configuration backup. Now what happened when you want to restore backup? When you want to restore, or some router is failed, or some router is upgraded, or their device is changed. Now when they want to restore this backup, what they do? They do reverse. They just do copy this configuration. They just copy that and paste into the configuration mode. So what happened doing this? Do you really need this command? Do you really need these commands? Do you need really these messages appearing into the configuration? Do you need so many things which are unwanted? So many things in this running configurations which is really unwanted. But since we have this formal common way of doing, we just copy and paste, and that unwanted code also getting pasted into your router's configuration every time whenever you do it. So that's a problem. That is one of the big problem. So unwanted codes, unwanted lines are getting added into your configuration, and it makes your configuration bigger. Okay, so this is one of the reason. Programmability, control the network devices. Third reason is the interaction between the network devices and other systems. All right, so now Python, there are many other solutions, but Python programmability makes your devices interacting with various different devices, not just routers, or not just switches, or not just any specific hardware and devices. So interaction between network devices and so many other control systems. Okay, like for example, using Python, you can fetch up the configuration, push down to many other devices like Cisco ISE. You can communicate with the Cisco Spark. You can communicate with APIC EM and so many other things. So Python gives you an capability also to make your hardwares intercommunicates with many other vendors, softwares, controllers, and applications. For example, you have some application, you have developed a application. I'm giving you another example. So let's say these all are some predefined third-party applications. Okay, so you have a ISE, okay, identity service. You have a Spark, Cisco Spark. You have a APIC. Assume that your organization is, let's say you are a Cisco partner, Cisco channel partner, and you are supporting your many of the clients. You develop your own application, own custom apps. Okay, now you want that this application should capture all the data from all of your Cisco devices. So you have thousands of devices behind the scene, and you want to capture certain logs, certain information, or so many other things to this application. But this application is not really directly able to communicate with these hardwares. So what you will do in between this? So in between this, you will use a Python. So Python will play an intermediate role between this application and this hardwares, just like an APIs. So you can create APIs in Python, which will make interconnecting this all different types of hardwares to your application. Why this is needed? Because in today's generation, there are n number of network devices, n number of communication services, and it mandatorily requires monitoring. Okay, so you want to monitor many devices, you want to capture a logs so that you can do the proactive action in your network. You need that new customized developed application. All right, so you're not allowed to do that, otherwise I'll disconnect. Okay, so interaction. Now interaction between the network devices and other systems. So Python play an intermediate role where many other systems, many other softwares and other devices you can make interconnected with the hardwares, various different hardwares and devices. Alright, so that was the third reason for considering Python. Now, next, transactionality. So, transactionality means what? As I said, stop bad configurations being committed to the network devices. So, as I said, as I given the example of Notepad, copy and pasting the configuration. So, a lot of unwanted configurations, getting pushed up to the network devices. So, how we can avoid that? So, so using Python, these all things we can avoid. Only specific commands in specific interface only we can send to the network devices. All right. Now, next reason is operational simplification. So while using Python, we can make our operations very simple, very simplified. Now, giving you an example. Let's see, in this network, you have this network, and in this network you need to find out a user, this user. You need to reach out this particular user. How usually that network process works? So you are the user and you want to find out that user. What you will do? How you will discover? Let's say you are in Infosys and sitting out into one network. So that red user sitting very far away from you. So let's say you are sitting into building 1. You are sitting in building 1 and this guy is in building 10. Okay, so maybe how many devices are there in between? Maybe 10-20 devices. So how you will find out that? First of all, you will ping this step by step. I have mentioned here a step. You will ping this IP address. Once you ping IP address, it will show you the ARP table. You will go to this particular first device and check out the ARP table. So that ARP table will give you the MAC address. Alright, it will give you a MAC address of this particular IP address. Okay, what is the MAC address of this particular IP address? Maybe AXX. Then what you will do? Then you will check out the MAC table. Then you will check out the MAC table of this particular switch and you will found this MAC address. Okay, this MAC address is equal to on which port? Okay, so let's say I am on port number 22. So you will come to know, okay, port number 22, that means it is on switch 2. Okay, then you will do all the repetitive tasks on the switch 2 again. Same repetitive task you will do on the switch 2. Then you will find out this port, then another switch, and this is how you will reach to the end user. So this is very much manual job. There is no way, no methods directly to find out that particular user on which switch. It's very difficult. Very difficult. So assume that finding out one device or finding out one user, how difficult it is. So instead of doing this, instead of putting all of these commands on many devices and dig down one device after other, what we can do is we can write a program at once. We just write a program at once at the Python and we just run this program in 1 second. It will run all the layer by layer commands and bring you that particular device details in fraction of seconds. So this is what Python can do for you, and all this tedious job, it can make it easy and simple. All right, friends. Okay. Now, as I explain how Python can help, that one script it can push out, it can fetch up the information from various devices at a time in 1 second and can bring it up that device in front of you. Okay, now next one is what tool we use to do this job today. In current situations, what all other tools are available and what tools we use to do this work done. Very common tool which we are using since years and years is a CLI, command line interface. So what are the advantages of doing command line interfaces and what are the disadvantages of using command line interfaces? So command line interface is very easy to use. That means simple command. You just need to put in one-liner command and it will immediately land up to the action. Okay, second thing, it is well documented. So if you go with the help with Cisco or with anyone, that all commands are well documented, well guided. So that's the advantage of the CLI. Next one is immediate result. So when you put a commands on a router, for example, let's say if I do something on my router here. So if I do anything here, config terminal, if I go interface E0/0, immediately it is doing that. Okay, IP address, if I'm setting IP address 192.168.10.100.255.255.255.0, no shutdown and exit. Now what it is doing, immediate action. The moment you put the command, immediately it is getting applied there, and immediately it start working also. Now that interface is up. Do show IP interface brief. So immediate action. Now I put the commands there and that IP address is applicable. Understood now what is the advantage of command line? That is immediate result. It gives you immediate result. Now there are some disadvantages as well. So very first disadvantage is time consuming. If you want to configure 1000 users and you want to put all of this 1000 users into certain VLANs, you need to go to everyone one by one and keep doing that. Okay. Second thing, you need to put up the access list for thousands of different users, different conditions. You need to keep putting line by line, and line by line. So this is very tedious job, means manual, it's manual job. Now third one is error prone. Error prone, that means since it is manual job, you need to put many commands to achieve one task, one goal. For example, you want to configure VPN. So to configuring VPN, you need to 15 commands you need to put one by one. And if you are missing something, then it's gone. Then you need to troubleshoot, you need to find it out and put that command back again. So that's the problem here. That's the problem in CLI. Now option 2, what we have here, that is configuration management tools. So there are many configuration management tools available in the market. Okay, like Python, like the Ansible, this is configuration management tool. Puppet Labs is a configuration management tool. Chef is a configuration management tool. So these all are predefined tools, pre-programmed softwares. Okay, now I will explain you the difference between these configuration management tools and Python script. Very well, I will explain you. I want to clarify you all people. This Python for networking class is from the scratch. This class is for those all people who are working as a network engineer or who are learning the network technology. This is for them. Those who are having 1 year to 5 years or 6 year, 8 year experience, this is for them as well. Alright, so now I'm considering that you people do not know anything about Python programming and how to integrate this or how to use Python programming for network automation. I consider that, and I'm digging down from the very basic, from the scratch. And I believe that, I challenge you that in next 5-6 days training, I will at least make you capable to understand the scripts, make a basic level of scripts, make your network automation, understand any kind of scripts, okay, and use it in your real. Learning is a never-ending process. You cannot be master in one day. Don't stop, keep practicing, and one day definitely you'll be a master. Environment. So I will make your base, your conceptual base, your programming base. Even though if you do not know anything, does not matter. Even though you do not know anything of programming, still it's fine. Still I will make you capable to write in small programs, make your network automation, and learn little continuously. And you can make in few days time, few months time, you can make yourself more capable into Python programming, network automation. So you need not to be a programmers like Java programmer or PHP or .NET programmer. You just need to be a network engineer, and you need to learn whatever you required for as a network engineer. All right, so I will make sure you will be that capable in next 5 days time. All right, so do not use pen there, otherwise I have to block you there. I have to disconnect you. Okay, so I'm into this configuration management tool. Okay, so this configuration management tool, okay, should I block this guy? Okay, so this is last time. Please do not use a pen or anything here, otherwise I have to disconnect. Okay, I'm getting disturbed, so let us go into the proper flow and learn something. Alright, so coming back to the topic, this is configuration management tools, and these all are the options available. These all options are available in the market. What are the advantages of this tool? As I said, this configuration management tools are predefined program, pre-developed program. These programs are not giving you flexibility to modify as per your need. Okay, for example, you want to capture something specific thing, and that program is not supporting, they are not allowing you to modify. Okay, these all are predefined, pre-developed programs. So what are the advantage? Devices roles. Now in these configuration management programs, you can capture the configurations, you can do things based on the devices roles. You define the roles to the devices. Next one is powerful templating. These devices gives you a template based management. There will be hundreds of templates available, what you wanted to do, ready templates available. You just choose that template and start using it. So this is the flexibilities available there. Now easy to learn, it's a fixed program, so you need not to learn any code, you need not to learn any object oriented concepts or anything. So only a program like any other program you might have experienced. Okay, so you need to learn like that. So it's quite easy to learn. Understood. Now disadvantage, less functionality. Now let me tell you why these all configuration management tools has got a less functionality. My friends, this configuration management programs are developed by considering specific proprietary devices or specific devices. For example, let's say Ansible. Ansible is more compatible with the Cisco equipments. So all features, all services, all templates which are available in the Ansible are Cisco compatible. Okay, now I want to use this Ansible with my any other hardware, let's say Alcatel routers. So Alcatel routers templates are not available there. It's not predefined those templates there. Okay, now if Alcatel want to add the template here, these all are not open source. Many other platforms are not open source. They are the proprietary programs. You need to buy them, you need to license them, and then they will allow a vendors to modify, vendors to put their templates there. Understanding? So these programs are predefined and not having that many functionalities. Why it is not having that many functionalities? Because it's not open standard. That's not open source. Few are open source, but not everyone. So less functionality is due to that. Now coming back to the Python. So Python is a open source platform. Alright, so what are the core advantage of this Python scripting is the numerous libraries. Okay, so there are numerous libraries available. So what are those numerous libraries? See, Python is open source, and this open source allows anyone to develop, anyone to put their things. Now just take an example. Suppose I'm an HP and I have developed my own hardware. So what I can do is I can create my own libraries for Python, and I can push into the Python store. I can put these libraries into the Python store. So anyone who use Python, they will get that HP libraries. And now my Python will support HP functionality supported by that particular device. Okay. So every vendors who makes their network equipments, they are allowed to make their templates, make their libraries, and put into the Python store. So this is how this Python becomes so robust. You talk about any vendor equipment, any vendor device, their predefined libraries are already available on Python store. So for example, you have a Python and you want to integrate this, you want to automate a Cisco equipment. You just download, you just import the Cisco libraries and it is ready. You want to use this for Alcatel, you just download and it is ready. You want to use for Juniper, you want to use for Fortinet, you want to use for Viata, any vendors. You just download the libraries and it's ready to use. Because that every device manufacturers develop their libraries and put into this. And they have to put, because if they put their libraries, people will prefer to use it. Alright, so this is, so programmabilities. Okay, now programmable interface. So Python's interface is a programmable. You can customizably write a program as per your need, as per your requirement. So because this is an open standard and you can make your own decisions, own development and everything. Well supported. So as I right back said, this Python is well supported by multi-vendor providers, multi-vendor equipments and multi-vendor devices. Alright. So these all are the advantages of Python. That is why this is too much famous nowadays. Now disadvantage, of course there is a disadvantage as well. So first and last disadvantage is development time. Okay, so you need to be a programmer. When you want to develop something, maybe you want to develop a libraries, you need to be a programmer. When you want to develop in critical scripts, you need to be a programmer. When you want to develop an APIs to communicate your network equipments to some application, or network equipments to some other hardwares, or network applications with some monitoring softwares, you want to integrate with them, you need to know the programming and you need to develop the interfaces. So these things are there, but don't be worried about it, because that everything, it's not as a network engineer's job. So network engineer is only required to learn what is required, what is needed to make your network automated. So you are not the one who will develop the APIs, you are not the one who will develop the libraries. Those all are manufacturer equipments, manufacturers will do it and make this all libraries and things ready for you. Alright, so let's move to the next one. Okay. Now move to the next. Now Python, why not C, Ruby, Perl, TCL, Go, etc. Why we don't prefer these all other programming languages instead of Python to write this automated script, automated the APIs, automated codes? Why we are not preferring C or Ruby or Perl or so many available platform? Why this Python, something new came up into the picture? So Python is very easy to learn. It is interactive, cell-based programming language and easy to begin with the simple scripts. You can easily start with very simple scripts where interacting with the interfaces, devices and all. Simple things you can do it. Okay, that's the first thing. Now second thing is libraries. Extensive libraries like apps stores for developers. Okay, so it can read Excel file, it can read PDFs, it can read drawings, any kind of things, any kind of interfaces it has available to read the files. So numerous libraries available. every manufacturers, everyone develop their libraries and put into this store. So whichever library you want, you take it up and your Python will act accordingly. So this is what. So now if I go for C is not that easy. It's not allowing me to add my own libraries. If I go with Ruby programming language, it is not giving me flexibility to write my own libraries, write my own functions and put into it. Okay, so these all are limitations there in the other programming languages and are quite difficult. But Python is so simple. If in this 100 people, if might be there are many people who are not even in computer graduates, so they also would be able to do the simple scripting and make their network automated. No issues, no worry about that. All right, so now we are moving, we are close to the practicals now. So why Python? There are two popular versions going on today. So Python version 2, okay, Python version 2 and Python version 3. Okay, so version 2 is available, version 3 is also available. So when you go to the store, we will see both of the versions available. So which version to choose now today? Now if I want to start my simple scripting, which version is the preferred one I should choose? So let me brief you about Python version 2, what this Python version 2 does and what this Python version 3. So Python version 2, this is most common version, okay, and this is since long in the market, more than 5-6 years. So most common version, everybody is using, everybody is preferring. Now why everybody is using? Because this is since beginning and it has so many libraries. Everybody is very used to about this. 3 is very recent one, so all the libraries are not available with this. Now I'll tell you the simple example. For example, I'm using Python since year 2016, and at that time what operating system I have, what network equipment with the iOS I have. So I have already written scripts and libraries according to that. Okay, so this Python version 2 is compatible with very old platforms, very old libraries and everything. So now in reality, if we see, many of the old equipments are eliminated from the market. So need not to keep those all dump libraries into the database and all. So that is what Python brought up a new version, that is Python version 3. Okay, so Python version 2 has got all the older libraries and it is so compatible with very older devices, older operating systems, older systems and everything. So most common version it is. That is why most people still prefer to use Python 2. All right, now default installations on Linux. So Python 2 is by default coming up with the Linux operating system. You need not to install separately. Python 2 is by default there. And you want to upgrade with the new versions, then you may have to install it. All right, now next one is most of the libraries are available in Python 2. So most of the possible libraries are available because Python 2 is there in the market since very long. So day-to-day development and day-to-day libraries continuously increasing. Okay, now this is losing popularities because so many new platforms do not require these all things and they want to prefer with the new version Python 3. So why Python 3? Several language enhancements are there. Okay, so now Python 2 is working with certain older platforms. Now there are many things which are not available. Language enhancement which supports new operating system. A very simple example I would give you. Let's say an Android operating system. So Android, till now, Android you must have seen into the mobile and handy devices only. Okay, but do you know that the laptops coming up with the laptop is coming up with the Android operating system? Why laptops started coming up with the Android operating system? Because most of 90% or more than 90% applications are cloud-based application. That means 90% applications, 90% plus applications are cloud-based. Cloud-based, that means browser-based. So 90% applications you are using only through the browser. Why do you need operating system? Why do you want to pay 10,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees for Windows 10 license? So you better put the Android operating system in your laptop, which is free of cost, and all the applications are available on the browser base. Tell me which applications you need in a specific application to be installed. Nothing today. So your email solutions, your Active Directory handling, your whatever, if you are a system engineer or you are a network engineer, everything is available through the browser. So not required. So it is saving a lot of cost to the organization. Second thing, it using very limited resources. Assume that now you have an 8 GB laptop and your 4 GB is consumed by your Windows 10. So only 4 GB left out for the other application. But if you have an Android, then think about it is working on 512 MB. 512 MB, and now rest entire 7 GB is for your application. So how fast it will work? Alright, so these all. So now just think about your computers. Your client user has got Android operating system, and now your Python 2 is not compatible with that. So you need to have a Python 3 version which is compatible with the new different operating system. You have a iOS operating system, you have an Android operating system, you have a Firefox OS operating system also coming up. So these all operating systems are there. So it makes compatible with several different language enhancement. Now often separate installation. So Python 3 you need to separately install in your computer. It's not available directly along with the Linux operating system or Windows or any other operating system. You need to separately download and install that package. Okay, not all libraries are supported. Now, since this is a newer advanced version, still it is not supporting all the libraries? Yes, it is not supporting so many older libraries. So many older libraries are not there, and new developed libraries, of course, vendors are putting into it, but many other libraries it is not supporting. Now, the biggest difficulty you will find out is if your organization is already since long using an automation and many scripts already in place. You have your team already have created many scripts on Python 2, and those scripts you want to run into Python 3. You may have many syntax errors. You may have problems. You need to recorrect those scripts according to Python 3. So these all things are there. Now commonly used in books and courses, Python is not now this is absolutely new version. Python is eliminating 2 and forcing up to use 3, but still it is not in operate. No, people are using it, but not so many. So still it is in education only. So into your college study, into your technical studies and all, but not people realistically using in the industry, because I said the compatibility problem. If any organization is using this since long, so then they have to convert all the Python 2 scripts into 3, sort out the bugs, rewrite few programs. So it's tedious job. So people are still preferring to continue with the Python 2. Okay. So that is why Python still providing updates and development for 2, even though 3 is available in the market. Okay. So Python 2 and 3 are not mutually compatible to each other. So if you write some script in Python 2, that script may work in Python 3, may not work in Python 3, depending upon what libraries you used it, what functionalities you used it, what features you used it. So this is all depending upon that. So these things you need to keep in mind while choosing the scripts. So many people are getting frustrated, irritated by this 2 and 3. Okay. So to beginner, my advice is, as a programmer, Python programmer, my advice is you begin with Python 2 now. You begin with Python 2. Once you are done with that, once you got the confidence of understanding the scripts, writing out the scripts, modifying some sort of scripting, then I would suggest, I would suggest you to go for Python 3. But meanwhile, I would suggest to begin with the Python 2. All right. So we are here now.